Right now, there is a very real, very loud fear that artificial intelligence is coming for our livelihoods. We picture a future where silent algorithms simply slide into our seats. But look at the balance sheets of Silicon Valley's biggest players, and a different reality emerges. Tech giants are throwing billions of dollars at generic AI development, racing to build the largest models possible. This chart visualizes a concept researchers at the University of Texas call the scaling paradox. As you can see, staggering amounts of capital flow into the AI ecosystem, yet the resulting corporate profit lines stay almost entirely flat. Buying the biggest AI infrastructure doesn't automatically generate a return on investment. When companies deploy these massive off-the-shelf models without properly integrating them into their existing teams, they don't get efficiency. They get operational chaos. The systems break down because they lack context. This bottleneck exists within the US job market's massive AI skills gap. The software has arrived, but the human infrastructure required to guide it is missing. Over the next decade, the greatest wealth will bypass companies building foundational models. It flows instead to the professionals who know how to tame them. The first place we see this failure is in media. The internet is rapidly saturating with a flood of generic, low-effort AI content. To cut through that noise, professionals are leveraging AI content strategy and video production. They use the technology to rapidly scale their output, but they fiercely protect the authenticity of a human brand voice. That same principle applies when we move from front-end media to back-end operations. This diagram shows the shift toward intent-based automation. Instead of relying on rigid, hard-coded totals, advanced prompt engineering allows tools like Zapier and HubSpot to process tasks dynamically. The system adapts to the actual intent of the user. Replacing rigid pipes with these fluid routing networks aggressively trims corporate bloat. Processes that used to require entire departments can now be handled by streamlined, self-optimizing pathways. Mastering these foundational layers takes AI from a novel parlor trick and turns it into a measurable, indispensable engine for cutting costs. When you scale these solutions up to the enterprise layer, the financial stakes jump into the multi-millions. Deloitte outlines a framework for this called multi-agent orchestration. This diagram illustrates the complex process of taking completely different AI models and forcing them to seamlessly communicate with one another, directed by a human overseer. While these systems handle the massive volume of outreach, the professional's value comes from injecting genuine empathy at the exact moment a relationship needs to be built and a deal closed. This chart, based on research from Georgetown's CSET, tracks a massive spike in hiring. Over 100,000 new roles are being created specifically in AI ethics, compliance, and governance, purely to manage the risks of these complex systems. This is exactly why we are seeing the rise of the $1,000 an hour AI consultant. A deep understanding of vendor architecture is valuable, but combining that technical fluency with human empathy is exceedingly rare. At the enterprise level, raw computing power is already a commodity. The market now places its highest premium on the human ability to safely and thoughtfully implement it. Beyond consulting, the absolute ceiling for individual wealth creation lies in building your own proprietary AI products. The market does not need another massive generalized language model. It desperately needs custom, low-code micro SaaS platforms that solve hyper-specific, real-world problems for niche industries. To build these solutions and capture wealth, adopt the T-shaped competence model. The top represents breadth, a wide understanding of available AI tools, automation, and compliance. The vertical stem generates value through specialized expertise, drilling down to implement those tools into one specific industry niche. Look toward 2030. The workforce is not going to be hollowed out by a piece of standalone software. You will only be replaced by another human being who has mastered human-AI collaboration. The technology is here.
Open any feed right now and you are hit with a barrage of promises. One person is pitching an AI side hustle, the next is reading a list of millionaire-making small businesses. The sheer volume of advice is paralyzing. Most professionals are paralyzed by the risk of sinking 100 hours into a dead end, only to end up exactly where they started. The best path to wealth depends entirely on the variables you're starting with: your career stage, your tolerance for risk, and your available capital. We're moving past the generic lists and looking at a customized scenario match that aligns these opportunities with your specific constraints. Your strategy for the next 100 hours changes depending on your primary asset. Decide if you lead with time, technical aptitude, or domain expertise. Those three assets define our archetypes: the bootstrap generalist, the tech levers optimizer, and the corporate pivot. Aligning your business model with your specific archetype creates an undeniable unfair advantage, while a mismatch leads to unnecessary friction. The bootstrap generalist is someone seeking immediate income replacement through low barrier entry. You have the time to commit, but you aren't starting with deep technical skills. Success here relies on high volume consistency, either through physical hustle or a constant output of digital content. On the physical side, services like mobile car detailing or home organization allow you to bypass digital competition entirely by offering specialized manual labor. If you choose the digital route, options like live shopping or short-form video editing are accessible, but they require immense daily volume to build an audience. This is the fastest route to your first dollar of revenue, typically requiring very little monetary startup capital. The trade-off is that these fields are heavily saturated. Because the barrier to entry is so low, scaling often requires hiring a large team to handle the manual workload. You also face constant downward price pressure. As AI tools become cheaper and more capable, basic digital services like simple editing or writing become harder to sell at a premium. The generalist path works as a practical stepping stone to build early cash flow, but it rarely functions as a long-term passive income strategy. The tech levers optimizer is a builder looking for maximum scalability. You're prioritizing long-term growth over immediate cash. The primary requirement here is a steep, often isolated technical learning curve, where you master emerging software and automation tools. This means moving beyond basic usage to coding autonomous AI agents or constructing complex prompt engineering workflows for other businesses. You're shifting from using AI for your own efficiency to creating proprietary software products that solve niche industry problems. The outcome is massive leverage. You build the product once, and it can be sold to thousands of concurrent users. However, the statistical risk of product failure is high, and the time to revenue is notoriously slow compared to service-based work. Builders must focus intensely on solving painful, real-world business problems. If you don't, you risk spending months building a tool that nobody actually needs. The corporate pivot is for the mid to late career professional who possesses deep, established expertise in fields like law, finance, or management. Instead of learning software development from scratch, you are leveraging 10 or 20 years of operational knowledge. You take that experience and layer it with a specialized understanding of new AI regulatory frameworks and compliance standards. This chart shows the surge in demand for AI-literate professionals. While general AI labor demand fluctuated in 2023, the need for expertise in AI ethics and governance is steadily climbing. Heavily regulated sectors like finance and insurance are the primary drivers of this demand. They need experts who can navigate organizational and social concerns. This pivot provides high job security and premium salaries through roles like fractional executives or chief AI officers. The challenge lies in the bureaucracy. You will often have to manage internal conflicts between strict ethical compliance and the company's drive for profit. These roles require formal credentialing and constant regulatory education, making them inaccessible for absolute beginners. For seasoned professionals, leaning into governance creates an impenetrable moat that technical automation cannot easily replace. Generating wealth in this decade relies on exploiting your specific unfair advantage, a strategy that carries more weight than simply adopting the latest AI tool. To find your move, we can map these roles on an evaluation matrix. We'll look at the expertise required against the scalability of the income. The bootstrap generalist options, like physical services or simple digital editing, sit in the bottom left. They require low upfront expertise, but they have a lower ceiling because you are trading time for money. The tech levers path, like building AI products, sits in the top left. The scalability is high, but it relies heavily on your ability to master new technical skills. The corporate pivot options land in the top right. This is the high leverage mode for veterans, offering high scalability by leveraging years of deep expertise. If you are starting from zero, use the generalist path to build immediate cash flow and avoid the complexity of software builds for now. If you are mid-career, ignore the side hustle noise. Your highest return will come from building a moat around your existing expertise through AI governance. So choose your path, accept the trade-offs honestly, and begin executing your tailored 100-hour plan today.